Alright, everybody. Welcome to The Sweat. This is Jeremy Mason. You are watching live action here from the Green Turtle in Bel Aire, Maryland. This is Brian Kilgore versus Greg Sund. Real good matchup here, two strong players. This is the Green Turtle in Bel Aire, Maryland. We're having a 600 and under Fargo tournament. Race to 5 here. It is a handicap tournament. A players go to 5, B players go to 4, and C players go to 3. And those ratings are determined based upon Fargo for this event. Players between 5 and 600, I think it was, or A players. So most of the field here is A players today. There's a couple Bs and a couple Cs. So both of these are A players going to 5. And of course those races are all shortened by 1 over on the B side. But this is first round action here. Brian Kilgore versus Greg Sund. Looks like Brian Kilgore at the racking. Greg set to break. Playing 10 ball. Basically 9 ball rules though. Just calling the 10. And everything else is wild. 10 ball counts on the break. And they are playing winner break. Some of you guys out there may not know Greg. Real strong player here. I think you guys are in for a treat. Should be fun to watch. Let's see how he does here with the first break. Real strong field here today at the Turtle. 47 players. Real aggressive start there for Greg. Played the 1-8. It was wired down in the corner. Able to control the cue ball pretty nicely. Has a similar cut angle on the 1 now for the same pocket. I don't think it goes. I actually went into the side pretty easily. I couldn't tell from my angle that that was there, but got to try to keep straight with these ball colors today. This is one of the Dynaspheres sets. I don't know the name of the exact set, but it's the cheaper Dynaspheres set. That was the 2 ball that he just played. Colored very similarly to the 7 ball that you'll see in a lot of your Cyclops sets, and it has been giving me fits trying to identify those. But this is the 3, the 5 is orange as it normally is, and then the 6 is the gray ball up there, and the 7 is the brown that it normally is. So really just got to pay attention to that 2 ball and identify it. The rest of the colors are pretty standard, I'd say. The gray 6 is different, but it's the same as the other Dynasphere set, I believe, so not too bad. Greg was able to play that 5 ball on the side to have the angle for the cue ball to go up table off the short rail, and he's in real good shape now, looking to get these last 4 balls down and get himself up on the board. Forward 2 rails there with some inside. Looks to have a just enough angle on this 7 to be able to get back up for the 9. Let's see how he chooses to play this. He could go straight forward up 1 rail with some high left, or play some high right and try to come out of that corner and back to the side of the 9 that he's standing on. He did choose the latter of those 2 options, but you see he wasn't really smooth with his cueing, and the cue ball kind of jumped at contact with the object ball there and really lost a lot of its momentum. And as a result, he came well short of his position. Still full view of the 9. Let's see if he wants to be aggressive with the bank shot or try to come up with some sort of a safety. He fires the bank in. Oh, and it looked like the cue ball almost came over and contacted the 10, which would have made this much easier. Nice bank shot from Greg on the 9, but not any easier here for this 10. Let's see how he does. He has called it up in the corner. Has to negotiate the cross-side scratch. Yeah, he didn't hit that very well. It looked like he was a little bit quick with the transition on his cueing. A little bit out of rhythm there. And so Brian's first chance at the table here will be a long full table straight-ish shot on the 10, cueing off the rail. So let's see how he does. This is a tester to start out your match, start out your day. And he's not able to get it down. Not an extremely difficult shot, it's just not the shot you want to start your match with, start your day with. So I believe Greg has called this cross side. Let's see how he does. Fires in another bank. And he will get on the board first, up 1-0 here in this race to 5. Once again, first round action here. Brian Kilgore versus Greg Sund. Here at this Green Turtle in Bel Air, Maryland. 600 and under Fargo tournament. Lots of good players in the house. We got in the background there, you can see Dan Bertel chatting it up with Sage Freeman, 2 good players there. Over there grabbing his cue, you see his name will escape me right now. Greg Roper, sorry, real strong player there. You can see Rob Daniels there in the background to the left, sitting down with the black shirt. Dan Boblin, a lot of strong players. Around the room we have Chris Mattern, Al Campo, Tina Malm, Lai Lee, Mike Hooper. So no shortage of talent here in this field, even though it is a 600 and under, there's a lot of capable players. And you're going to see some good action. So nice safety from Brian, able to hook Greg over behind that 2 ball. Greg's looking at a 1 rail kick off the short rail. Might have a chance to pocket this 3. No, not going to do it. And Brian's safety will pay off. The 1 appears to pass the 3. Certainly will glance off the 3 in pocket. And he'll just have to be careful with his position play for the 2, as it is in close proximity with the 4 there. Needs to come across above the 2 for the lower right-hand corner, I believe. Watch this 9. It's good speed there. Pretty much straight in here for this 2 ball. Got to be careful though. I think the angle, not quite straight in. He might have the angle taking him over towards the 4 a little bit. If that's the case, he'll want to draw this ball a little bit more, make sure he clears the 4. But he may have the angle to just the straight in angle, just play a stop shot. Yeah, he was pretty straight. He did draw it back. Still enough angle in this 3. He can go forward 2 rails, or just down 1 rail. Does go forward 2 rails for this 4 on the side. I think he's slightly above the line. It's a little bit hard to tell. We don't have this foot camera angle as high as we normally do. So I can't quite see some of the angles as well as I would like, but not going to be a problem either way. You just may see he may be taking a little bit more of a cut shot on the 5 for the next one. Yeah, and he was above the line. Goes cue ball to the long rail above the side pocket and back out. Make sure he got steep enough that he can be in control here. Do what he wants. Looks like he might be able to go forward for short side. And this is what he played. But he didn't really roll to the short side of the 6. He kind of played into the 7, and he's a little bit steep on this back cut. He could also play it to the side pocket. Well, I think you're a little bit more in control on that, and it's more of a 2-way shot because the 10 blocks a lot of the 6 for a long time. I believe that's what I would play. I wouldn't roll it. I would kind of pinch it, play it to the side pocket, and let the cue ball die on the short rail. But he does choose to play it in the corner, and I think he's... That's so close. I think he's okay. The cue ball just rubbed the top of the 8 on the way by and gave it a little bit more momentum of going over towards the 10, but he's definitely in good shape here. Looks like he will just roll this in. Yeah, I could have stunned that down to the rail and back out, but no need. And good angle here to just come straight across the table. Could go above the side pocket or below the side pocket, whatever he chooses. He does decide to stay above it, take a little bit of a steeper cut on the 10, but completely took the side pockets out of play. Oh, and he missed the 10 ball again, and he'll give it up to Greg there, 2-0. No, that's a shame because that was a really nifty little run out there from Brian. Well played. Just didn't kind of stay down and through on the 10, it didn't look like, so unfortunate there. And it'll be Greg breaking, leading 2-0 in this race to 5. Brian visibly frustrated, and understandably so. He's missed the 10 ball twice. That one needed to be made. The first one, understandable, a little bit of a tester for the first shot of the match, but he'll be frustrated having missed 2 10 balls already and trailing 2-0. And Greg narrowly avoids the scratch in the side pocket there with the cue ball, but he's not going to beat the being hooked on the 6, so you should see a push out here. Let's see what he likes to do. I think if it was me, I may be pushing down towards the 9 ball and forcing Brian to play some sort of a safety on the 1. It's dangerous. I think if you give him that angle from where the 9 ball is, it's easy enough to play safe behind the 6. So he's going to go the other way, but bank it all the way down to the long rail. And I think I like this better. Brian does have the angle to play safe behind the 7, but the 7 is a tougher ball to play safe behind than the 6 would have been if he had the other angle. So this probably a better decision. Yeah, and it's going to pay off. Brian didn't really commit to what he was doing there very well. Played it a little bit tentatively, and as it is, Greg's going to be pretty much straight in on this 1 ball to the corner pocket, although cueing off the rail. Yeah, I didn't cue that very well. He kind of moved around a lot in the shot motion there, so... back to the table for Brian, hooked behind the 4 off the miss from Greg. Looks like Brian can try to play this rail first, maybe clip the top side of it and get the cue ball over behind the 9 for a safety. He looks like he wants to play the Masse and try to play aggressively. Yeah, and he hit it good, but the problem with that shot is it was a very, very good chance he wasn't going to come up with sights on the 3. And I don't know that the 3 passes the 7 anyways, so there was, to me, that was a case of maybe not a great job from Brian there, taking inventory on risk versus reward. I mean, he did have a good chance to pocket the 1 on that Masse shot, but it didn't really do a lot for him. And as you can see, Greg back at the table, right in line here. Oh, but he fired it right into the jaws and back out. A little bit jabby with his cueing there. You could see kind of a little bit quick through the transition. Once again, we've seen that a couple times from Greg so far in this match. Not quite smooth like you'll see from him when he's playing well. And Brian misses as well. And this is going to be... I thought that 3 was going to sit right out in the open, but it does get into a position where it does not pass the 7, so We'll see how Greg handles this. I like the safety, kind of thin the 3 and just go off the rail and back behind the 7 again. Like he hit it much harder than that. I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to do. We'll see in a moment how he ends up. That was nice and smooth there from Brian. And he's kind of back in line, but a little bit straight on this 4 ball. He probably is going to have to draw out for the 5. Yeah, looked like he came up a little bit on that shot. You could see he pulled out of it and didn't really get as much draw on the cue ball as he would have liked. A little bit more of a stop shot, so real thin on this 5 now. But he hit it nicely. And in real good shape now. He can pocket the 6 in the sides and his cue ball 2 rails around, possibly catching the 3rd rail for the 7 in the upper left. Yeah, I didn't love that line. I like coming a little farther, lower down that long rail. Tough reach here, and he's going to be okay. I like going forward here with some inside. Let the cue ball go long rail by the 7, short rail, long rail on the other side, and then back out into space for the 9 in the lower right. That's exactly what he does. And he should be in perfect shape here. Good chance to get up on the board. Just has to collect himself and make sure he finishes this rack. He's let a couple get away from him already. And a very similar shot to what he missed in the last rack, just shooting the opposite direction. Better cueing on that one, stayed down and through, very smooth. And closes the gap to 2-1, and he'll have the break. Once again, winner break format here at the 600 and under Fargo tournament at the Green Turtle in Bel Air, Maryland. 47 player field here today. So a real nice tournament. You're actually watching your tournament director, Brian Kilgore, right now in action on the stream table versus Greg Sund. Looks like Greg's happy with the rack. Brian at the table to break. Trailing 1-2. And this race to 5. This is once again first round action. Long way to go here today. Lots of good action. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the sweat. And wow, it really looked like the cue ball was going to catch one of them balls on the way down and not scratch, but somehow they all cleared and the cue ball went straight in the hole. And great opportunity here for Greg to regain control of this match. Key shot of this rack will be the 2 to the 3. So I guess if you're Greg, you want to play the 1 with maybe a back cut angle and come off the long rail on the left side of the table and into the angle of the shooting line for the 3, a cut shot, and get you back up for the 3. But it's going to take a real nice shot to get on the 3. You looked at going the other way, more of a back cut on the 2, drawing out. I don't like that. I don't like drawing out into space off of a back cut if I can help it. It's tougher to predict to me. That's exactly where he's going, though. The other problem with that is you're going a long way to try to get to a spot for the back cut, and you can end up very straight on the 2. Looks like he does have angle taking him towards that, like of course if drawing the ball almost towards Dan Bertel's left knee, or right knee as we're looking at it right now. I'm not going to be able to tell for a second if that's okay. I think that's good. I think he's fine. That was Well struck, maybe a hair fortunate to contact the 4 and land perfectly the way it did, but he's in really good shape now. Angle on the 4, can come straight down the table here for the 5. Don't really need to get all the way down either. Oh, I don't like that line. Nah, he's going to be okay. That's a very dangerous way to play that shot. I would like to see him come straight down table to the inside of the 10. Don't ever bring the 10 into play. Don't ever bring the scratch into play. The 5's so close to the pocket, and the pockets play so easily here that you just give yourself a cut shot there on the 5. You're going to be fine. He got away with it that time, but in my opinion, that is not the percentage play for position from the 4 to the 5 there. But as it is, he's in good shape here. Big favorite to get out from here. That needs to go. Once again, we've seen Greg a couple times playing position with the cue ball going across the shooting line as it finishes, and speed's been good so far, but the speed has to be good playing that way. He just needs to draw straight out here. Wow, and he miscued. Somehow still pockets the 8. And Brian's in his chair with a little bit of a wry smile there. Can't believe that Greg's going to get away with that. Yeah, Brian and Sage are having a little chuckle about that. And a nice shot there from Greg to take a 3-1 lead. Tough match here for Brian so far. 2 misses on the 10, and then a little bit of a fortunate sequence there for Greg. And Brian at the table racking. Greg set the break. Once again, we were playing winner break here. I think Brian just wanted to keep things moving, keep these matches being played at a fast pace. So winner break, race to 5. That's tough. You really have to seize control, seize momentum right away, and hang on. Race to 5, there's not a lot of chances for ebbs and flows. Right into the drink there on the break for Greg. Gonna be ball in hand for Brian. Does not look like the 1 is gonna. I think that's the 1 over on the left side there by the 5. Guys, you will have to bear with me on the camera work right now. We do have 2 cameras set up here today, but I am recording this audio after the fact. I'm doing commentary overlay on these existing B-roll footage that we got from the event the other day. The Wi-Fi was questionable at best. I did not have the capability to live stream at all, so I just recorded some of the matches, and now I'm home going back doing some commentary overlay. So I do not have the ability as I'm sitting here to change the camera angle when I need to. We'll just have to watch it however it was recorded live. Adam, Frank helped me out at the event that day, but there were times when neither of us were at the computer, so I think we had the scores clicked basically the entire time, but there may be times where you're looking at the wrong camera angle for a period of time. Apologize for that, but I'm going to have a good time recording some commentary for you guys so we can get these matches up on YouTube and you guys can enjoy them. And we'll try to come up with a better solution as far as internet goes in the future if we find ourselves back at the Green Turtle. Really nice safety there from Brian. Greg is dead locked on the back of the 6 ball. The 4 is tucked on the rail in between the 5 and the 9. Greg's probably gonna, I don't think he can kick 2 rails around the 8. I think he's probably just gonna have to try to kick 1 rail with some spin. I can't quite tell from the angle that I've got, unfortunately, so We'll just have to see what he does here. I can tell you he is in a bad spot. And what's worse is the 4-5 appears to be pretty close to wired, so foreseeably if Brian did come up with ball in hand here, he'd have a good look at a run out. Yeah, he did play the shot I called, just try to go one rail and spin it over, but that was a very tight window to get into. So effective safety from Brian. It does appear that the 4-5 is playable, but Greg was able to tie the 9 onto the 6, so Brian will have to negotiate that. I cannot tell from my angle if the 6 still goes to the corner or not. So let's see how he does. Brian able to pocket the 5. Decent control on the 4. He's got a little bit of a back cut. He's a little bit close to his work, but he may have... I think he's just going to play safe here. I actually like this. I think this is a good decision. And he hit it really nicely. Cue ball close to frozen on the 9. A little bit unfortunate that the 4 bumped into the 7 and stayed down table, where Greg has a one rail kick in pretty close proximity. Greg able to come up with a good hit. And wow, a great result for Greg. Wow. That's why, so on that shot, if you're Brian, you have to find a way to make sure that that 4 does not contact a ball on its way up table when you're playing that safety a shot ago. This is the kind of stuff that can happen if you give your opponent a one rail kick. Brian misses short with his kick attempt. Well, got it on the way back by, but no rail. So ball in hand for Greg. And once again, I don't know if the 6 pockets to the lower left-hand corner where Greg is standing now. Brian actually just got out of his chair to take a quick look at that. Even if it does go, I think he's going to have to take a little bit of a back cut on it because of the position of the 7. So let's see how he handles this. Just going to want to pinch this off the rail a little bit and keep a back cut on the 6. Actually, he elects to draw all the way back down below it, which is nice to get where he got here, because he's going to be in much more in control than he would have been playing the back cut on the 6, probably running into the 7 with the cue ball. So nice stroke there from Greg. Pockets the 6 up in the corner. Cue ball back out into space for the 7. Don't think he has a great angle here. He could play the 7 in the side to go up to the left side of the 8, or play the 7 up in the corner. But he's going to have to work hard to beat the scratch. He does play it on the side. And the speed, got the speed really nice on that. Now he's going to be able to play this with just a tip of left. Maybe just draw it a little bit. And come straight down table at the 9. Has he overhit that? He actually elected to draw it out 2 rails there, which is not bad. His speed was pretty good there. And this is going to give Greg a 4-1 lead. Nice out there for Greg. Couple good rolls for Greg the last couple racks, which is why if you're Brian, you cannot make those early mistakes missing a couple 10 balls, because if you make any mistakes, then you are going to have a really hard time fading any of the rolls that you may have come against you later in the set, especially in a short race like this. So 4-1, Greg leading, and at the table set the break here in rack number 6. Really nice break from Greg. Couple balls down. Sights on the 1. I cannot tell from my perspective here if the 1 pocket's in the side. But if it doesn't, he can still play it down in the corner. It's not inconceivable on the valley table. But he actually was able to play it right to the side pocket. That's a nice shot. Doesn't want to be locked on the 8 here. Yeah, this is tough. He still has some room, but needs to pocket this 2 and get the cue ball back into a similar position to what it's in now. Maybe not quite as close to the 8 as he is. I foresee him taking a little bit more of an angle on the 3. I think he tried to force that a little bit more and come down for the combination. That angle was not really there, and as a result, you see him miss the 2 ball. So another chance here for Brian. 4-1, Greg leads, and looks like Brian's gonna have to roll this 2 in and take a cut on the 3. Not real natural here either. I mean, you can play this with some inside and come down between the side pocket and the 9 for the 5 in the same pocket. But it's pretty touchy. I was going to say, if you play it above the side pocket, the 9 ball is huge. And he is hooked. He may be able to see just the very edge of it. You could see the very edge, that's what he hit, and he scratches right in the corner pocket, and a little scratch of the ear there. He knows that prospects of winning this match for him are dwindling, and this is not the result that he had in mind. Brian's been playing real good. He came to this tournament with some pretty high expectations, and a first round loss here would put a serious damper on that. Obviously, he wouldn't be out. This is a double elimination tournament, but he's going to have to do it the hard way. Now, assuming Greg's able to get through these last couple balls and close this match out. Just a hair steep on this 8, but it's very easy to kill the cue ball on these. Well, he doesn't really try to. He just went out the extra rail there. 2 extra rails there, actually. Came all the way across twice. And doesn't really get the cue ball back out into space, so now he's going to be bridging off the rail and just rolling this 9 in. You could put a good stroke on it and come back for the 10 in the same pocket. I hit that really nice. And this 10 ball will give Greg a 5-1 lead, a 5-1 win over Brian Kilgore. Nice shooting from Greg, and Brian over the B side, where he will have a long road back to the cash. Stay with us, folks. More matches coming your way. You're watching The Sweat.